Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming to our show, man. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Not a problem at all.
It is wonderful to meet you. We've got one more guy who'll be here just in a moment, and
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna have a good time today.
Excellent. Cool. Look forward to it.
Good. How much time do you have for us today? We want to make sure we respect your time constraints and
No problem. What do you want to do? Like an hour or?
we can do an hour. We've done shows that were 2 hours. It really depends on the guest. So we have questions. Our
Yeah.
shows probably run about 90 minutes, give or take.
Okay. Yeah. Well, whatever. It's not a problem.
Okay. A lot depends on the more stories you have, the better for us. So we're
Yeah.
happy to just hang out with you. So we're all
Okay,
good
cool.
there.
Excellent. Cool.
Wonderful, wonderful. Today's Mother's Day here in the U.S. So one of our members is hanging out with his mom today. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's apparently it's all over the world apart from England.
yeah, you're in March, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't know why. I have no idea.
Just trying to be difficult, I guess.
Yes,
It's like yeah, right. It's just like the U.S. and metric. We're just being difficult,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. What's this meter stuff? I don't know. It's like a yard.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm still feet and inches, so we're talking the same language.
Okay, let's see. Reasonable people here, Mr. Grimmett. That's right. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. There comes Chop Tom.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Steve's
Good,
already here
good.
waiting for us. He's here ready to roar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, prompt, man.
That's
Prompt.
right.
Sorry about that. Hi, Steve. Great to meet you.
Hey. How are you guys? All right?
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, ready. We're excited about this, so we're
Yes.
very ready for this.
We are. This is very exciting for us. All right. Well, we've got a wonderful introduction that we're going to do, and then we'll introduce you, and then we're just going to start talking and having questions, and have a good time.
Cool. Excellent.
Excellent. All right. You guys ready to rock and roll?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Here we go.
This is Slasher Dave of Acid Witch, and you are watching Heavy Metal Horror!
I am Montag, master of illusion. What goes up must come down, but not always.
Hey, this is Chop Top. Stay heavy because this one's going to be grimtastic.
Hey, I'm Wildcard, and I'll see you in hell.
That's
I got
right.
you. I figured, Chop Top. I figured you'd get to it before me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll see you there first.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm taking over when I go there.
Yes. And you are watching and listening to Heavy Metal Horror. Oh, kitties. We have a spectacular show tonight. We're kind of pinching ourselves because we kind of don't believe this is going on, but we've got Steve Grimmett from Grim Reaper, Onslaught, Lion's Heart. The main man is here tonight. Steve, welcome to Heavy Metal Horror.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm really looking forward to your show.
Oh, we are all fans. We are so excited. And I know when we ask people to be on our show, because we're just small potatoes. We just have fun. We never know what the kind of response we're gonna get. So I was just thrilled when I got the yes, Steve will be on your show. I'm like, holy crap! I said, hey guys, guess who we're getting? Steve Grimmett's gonna come on. Everyone's like, what? So we're excited. So I guess we're going to start with some background questions, kind of just, and then we're going to work our way through all kinds of stuff that we want to know about your creative process, life on the road, all kinds of fun hypothetical questions, so we're going to have some fun.
Cool.
All right. So Steve, where did your love of music come from?
I think to start off with, it's very much now, but I think it was in my blood. And I used to sing to records in my bedroom, like like every budding rock star, I suppose, was and doing. And a girlfriend caught me singing when she came round to see me, and she said, "Oh, you're really good." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she got me an audition for a local band that were looking for a new vocalist, and I got the job, but it didn't last very long, and then I got approached by other local musicians, and we formed a band called Crater Mass, but I don't think we ever recorded anything. And then that sort of split up, and I got approached by a guy called Lance, a guitarist, and we formed Medusa. You may have heard of Medusa, and that's really where it all started, because Lance was a big Judas Priest fan and wanted to do a Judas Priest song, and he picked Starbreaker. And I listened to it and thought, shit, no way will I ever be able to do that. Well, that wasn't the case. I could quite easily do that. And that's where it all started, really. It was just my love for playing live, recording, and that still with me now. I do love playing live. I do love being in the studio, crafting, lyrics and melody, not only for myself but for other people. I get offers all the time. Can you sing on our album? Can you do this? Can you do that? Well, yeah, absolutely. Because I've got my own studio. It's right behind me here.
Oh, nice.
And I just love it, and that love has never left me at all. So it's good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Quatermass, I'm assuming that's based on the series of movies, right? Quatermass Experiment, Quatermass in the Pit.
I can't remember, to be fair.
Yeah, those were made by Hammer Studios, and
They were,
yeah.
I can't really remember. It was sort of a progressive rock type thing,
Sure.
And I used to play the keyboards in it. I used to have this big Hammond, and used to cart that thing around everywhere with me. And it was a good time. It was, and I'm still actually friends with the guitarist on Facebook, and I enjoyed that. But then it got a bit more serious with Medusa, and that was a much more polished unit. We started getting record company interest, although that's as far as it ever went. But it was really good.
Nice.
And I enjoy listening to those songs now.
Yeah, cool. So what is it about metal that attracted you, as a genre? What do you like about playing metal?
It's expressive, and I'm not saying that any other genre isn't, but for me it said it all. The urgency, the being able to express yourself in any form you like in this genre, and I just love the feel of it, the vibration, and that's it really. I fell into it because I wasn't a metal fan to start off with. I had to this audition that I got, this girlfriend that got me. They were heavily into Thin Lizzy, and what was the song we used to do? Oh, I think it's Boys Are Back in Town, and that was it for me. It's like, yeah, I really like this. It's energetic. It's and all those many years ago, and I'm still into Thin Lizzy. What a great band!
Yeah, yes, exactly. Fantastic band.
But the reason that I sing, and this will surprise most people, is Elton John. I absolutely adore Elton John, especially when he was writing with Bernie Torme.
Okay.
Bernie Taupin, sorry. And he is now writing again with Bernie. And it was just such a stunning time, the songs were great. And that is the reason I sing. And it was maybe 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. My mother gave me the family Bible, and in it there's pages for you to write your family tree. And lo and behold, on my mother's side, we are related to the Dwight family, because Elton John's name is Reginald Dwight, and his name's in the Bible. And it's like, oh, okay.
Really cool,
Yeah,
man.
that kind of
Yeah,
law.
that's pretty great.
Yeah,
And,
you guys could do a tour together. You know,
Oh,
I mean, the Cousins Family Bible Tour. You
Oh.
know, Elton John and
Yeah.
and Grim Reaper would be a great
Yeah.
show.
I
Great
would
show.
do a song with him. I really would, because I hadn't seen. I was a fan, but I'd never seen him live. And my son, for a birthday present, said he's playing in Cardiff, which is about an hour away from here in Wales. And he said, "I've got your tickets." I was like, "Oh, awesome!" And it was brilliant. I loved every minute that I was there. You know, it was great, fantastic.
Yeah, he's one of those artists who just transcend. You know, people from any genre and walk of life can enjoy him. And I've been listening to him since I was a kid, you know, in the
Yeah.
mid 70s, and just was mesmerized by his music.
Yeah, he's a stunning artist. He really is, and I will continue to listen to him until the day I die. You know, he's fantastic.
Nice. I'm going to talk about your musical heroes. You know, growing up, you know, we're all fans of people. So who were some of your musical heroes?
Well, I got into heavy metal, heavy rock late in life, really. And so I missed out on a lot of like Led Zeppelin and stuff. I didn't listen to that. So I do obviously know the famous songs, but I don't really know the ins and outs of the band. But Thin Lizzy started it off, and so I got into that. And then Judas Priest, obviously, because I had to sing a song of theirs. Got into that. And then Whitesnake, I absolutely adore Coverdale's vocals. He's absolutely brilliant. And there are a lot more people, but those are the ones that of course, the main man Dio. You know, I really still wish he was around and I could have gone and seen him. You know, but alas, you know, there are stunning vocalists, and then there are vocalists, but they got a fantastic aura about them, and they can front, and that's what it's all about for me. I mean, you know, Ozzy Osbourne, I absolutely love Ozzy Osbourne, but he's not much of a singer. Can I swear? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We're free.
absolutely.
And fuck for that. Yeah, he can walk out on stage, not say anything, and he's got the whole audience in the palm of his hand. That is something special to watch. I've seen that twice now, and he just walks out, and that's it. He's got the whole audience right there. Doesn't have to say anything, do anything, and that's a real special thing to watch.
Yes, he's a tremendous front man. You know, he's mesmerizing, in that you can't not, you know, look at him. All right.
No.
Have you got a chance to meet any of the, you know, your heroes or the musicians you admire over the years? Have you had a chance to,
Yeah.
and who have you met?
Yeah, I've met Ozzy, and are you aware of Magnum?
Mhm.
English AOR band. I've met them. Wasp. I'm still good friends with Chris Holmes.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a great. He's going through a bit of a shit time actually at the moment. He's got throat cancer.
Right.
Not doing so good. Well, I say not doing so good. He's had all of his treatment, so we're sort of keeping our fingers crossed for him. But yeah, there are. I've met quite a number, but Fish from Marillion, I actually really just bumped into him, so that was quite cool. Brian May, Alan Holdsworth, Tommy Aldridge,
Nice.
so, you know, it's the list that goes on. But it's great, you know, because I've only ever met one arsehole, and that's what's his name? Dave Lee Roth.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
Really?
a complete arsehole. Yeah, and because I was into Van Halen, and he came down to. We were in the States at the time, and he came down to the RA building to do a radio show. And Nick and I thought, well, let's go and meet him afterwards, you know. No, wasn't fucking interested. And I thought, right, you are, so I'm never buying another one of your records. And I didn't.
All it takes is one time, you
Exactly.
know. And and
Yeah.
they don't have to be that way. We've talked about encounters of people who we used to love and who are our musical heroes. And then when you have that sour encounter, like they're dead to you. It's like, you know what? You could have been nice for 10 fucking seconds and made our day, but you had to be a fucking dick, and then that's it. Right.
Exactly. I know.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that I do with my fans. It's I will always make time for them. Sometimes they approach me when I'm trying to get ready to go on stage, and that I say, look, you know, afterwards I'm going to come downstairs, I'm going to come out, sign stuff, pictures, you know, do whatever you want, and that's what I do, and every show I definitely do that, because at the end of the day, without the fans, I wouldn't be doing it. You know?
Right.
So
And you've made their day, you know, I mean, you really do.
Yeah.
Those moments are rare, and I can understand their excitement. Like they don't think they're going to see you after the show. So they take that moment like, oh my God, I got an opportunity. Let's try, you know? So I get that. But bravo for you for meeting with them after the show.
Me, it's part of it. You know, that's part of me giving back what they've given to me. You know, and that's really, really important to me. Well, I've just got back from doing some shows in Brazil, and the last show I couldn't do that. They rushed me out because there was fighting going on or something, and they didn't want me getting anywhere near that, so they rushed me out, and I didn't get to do that. And it was a shame, but it was you know, because I'd like to have seen. Obviously, I've got a lot of Facebook friends and Instagram friends that told me they were going to be there, and I couldn't come and see them, so I was a bit disappointed with that. But you know, next time.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Well, much respect with that, though, Steve, because, you know, Ronnie James was well renowned for doing that, and he set sort of like the template, I think, for a lot of other artists to follow with that, giving back to the fans and everything, and that genuineness. So kudos to you on that.
Because, you know, without them, you wouldn't have record sales, you wouldn't have audio, and it's really important, and it's very, very important to me. So, you know, I what I'll do after a show is quickly go and towel down, have a drink, and then go back out within 15 minutes of getting off stage, and you know, they'll still be waiting there, and it's a thrill for me as much as it is for them. So, you know, it will continue.
Good.
That's great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about about creativity and your process. What is your creative process when you are writing music or lyrics?
Well, basically, I've always had the backing tracks beforehand, even going back to Grim Reaper days, before we had any recording equipment. We used to rehearse and write the songs in rehearsal. And Nick was in university at the time, and he came back for one weekend, and we rehearsed both days. He said, I've got a great idea. I said, oh, what's that? He said, well, I've got this 3-chord song called See You in Hell. And all right, okay. So I took that, he played it, and I had to remember it. And I was taking a shit when I wrote the lyrics. for that.
Yes.
And I shall never forget that, obviously. But,
These are the stories that we love to hear, Steve.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, this is what we
Yeah.
live for.
so yeah, so I finished that off, and then obviously the next time Nick came back from university, it was like, right, I've got lyrics, let's go, and I can't say that's a special moment, but it's things like that that you remember. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
It's not like you take a shit every time you're writing lyrics, right, Steve? So that's your creative.
Yeah.
That's not part of your creative
It
I'm
just
gonna
process.
try
happens.
that.
It's natural.
Yeah.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah, it
right?
can't
Falls out
hurt,
of my head.
Wildcard. I mean, your lyrics might come out pretty good next time.
Yeah.
There you go. But it's part of the process, and I've been called a devil worshipper and all the rest of it, but it's got nothing to do with it, because See You in Hell, although it's taken totally the wrong way, it's a story about the temptation of Christ, the first temptation of Christ, and it's like, and I've been called a devil worshipper for that. Okay, yeah, but what about Dead on Arrival? Yeah, but okay, that's a story about one of my family's best friends who died in a car accident, and okay then, yeah. I said, you're not reading the lyrics, you're just reading the title and reading what
Yep.
you want.
Yes.
And, at the end of the day, each song that we wrote was a 5-minute or 4.5-minute Hammer House of Horrors. And you mentioned that earlier on. And it's just like, that's all it was. And but what about the Grim Reaper? Well,
It sells, man. It's a great
yeah,
icon, man.
exactly, that's right.
Yeah.
That's it, exactly. And it makes for great artwork, and that was it. And it's always been that. We're not devil worshippers at all. There you go.
We heard it, kids. Steve's not a devil worshiper, so there.
Yeah.
No, I you probably had to endure a lot of that, with the satanic panic that went around in the 80s. I mean, that just had to be, there was so much of that going on, infiltrating
PMRC.
everything. Yeah, all kinds of bands, Iron Maiden, and then like games like Dungeons and Dragons, like everything was, it's just like, oh, come on, man. Everyone's taking it so damn seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think probably the people that were against it and wanted all this explicit lyric posters on your albums and stuff, they just wanted the fame, and
Yeah.
no other reason for it at all, Still, they got lost along the way.
Yeah, and you're still here,
Yeah.
right. I'd like to talk a little bit about your singing style. How did your singing style evolve?
Naturally, because I've never had a lesson. It's I guess it's just a question of the influences, I suppose. And back in the day, it used to be all about screaming. About, I don't really do that a lot now. I still hit the high notes and stuff, but it's not so much of a. I never enjoyed doing that in the first place. It was just that every other singer and his dog were doing it, and it was part of the. Oh, it's got to be because it's heavy metal,
Sure.
And I enjoy a good melody, I really do. And when presented with a song, I did a song for a guy in Germany. He sent me this song. He said, "Can you play on it? Can you sing on it? And can you, do a good job?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, I'll listen to it." And instantly, I came up with the idea, the lyric idea, and the melody, and it's a stunning song. But because the guy, I don't think he might be famous in Germany, I'm not sure, but it's never going to see the light of day, really. I mean, it's been released, but I don't think that it's going to be one of those songs or his album is going to be one of those big hits, and it's a shame, really, because that's a great song. But
And do you want to know why we know that you're not lying about that being a great song, about your work on there? Because you were able to take a Garmin commercial and make it the coolest fucking commercial that any metalhead had ever seen. I mean, that was one of the most shocking things to see that Garmin commercial and go, holy shit, man, that's Steve Grimmett. And this is
Yeah.
a fucking great song. That was
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
it's still one of the best commercials I've ever seen in my life.
You're not kidding. That was a really good time for me. That was I got approached by a company in California to sing a song for the Super Bowl, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that, yeah. And his song got rejected, but then all of a sudden I got I can't remember who it was now, but it might have been the production team for the video, got in touch with me and said, look, the guys want to they want you to sing on it specifically, and Glenn Hughes had tried it, and somebody else, I can't remember who else. And it's like, what, they want me? And it turns out that the guys in the art department from Garmin were Grim Reaper fans, and that's what put me on it.
Nice.
It was really cool. So I went into the studio in London and did the business, and then a couple of days later, we had to go back to London to be part of the video, and it was just a great time. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I'd do that any day again.
Yeah, that was amazing. So, like with what Montag was talking about, your vocal styling, you're incredibly consistent from release to release, and I'm curious as to whether or not did you transition into Onslaught? Was that a challenge for you? I mean, that's my favorite Onslaught album, is In Search of Sanity. It's one of my all-time favorite records, and your vocals on it are one of the key reasons. It was a perfect culmination of tech thrash riffs with excellent vocals. So was it difficult by any chance for you to go from like a traditional heavy metal band to a thrash band?
No, not at all. They got into, or their manager got in touch with me, and it was right at the end of Grim Reaper's life, and he said, look, the guys want you to sing on their album. The singer has failed to deliver on this one, and the label have rejected it. So we're hoping that you can do a good job of it. So they sent me the songs on a cassette, which I had, or borrowed actually, a 4-track recorder, and recorded the vocals on 4 songs in my garage, in its garage. And I sent it back to them, and then got a phone call maybe a week later to say, oh man, can you go to America and do the album? I was like, yeah, why not? The Reaper thing was dead and buried pretty much. And I got in touch with my management. I got in touch with RCA and said, look, this band want me to join, and I don't want to. I want to stick with Grim Reaper. And they said, I didn't get an answer from anybody, so I thought, well, fuck it, I'll join them and go for it. So
nice, excellent,
and ended up doing the album, which I thoroughly enjoyed doing. To be fair, it was different, and for me, Onslaught were doing really well in Europe and England, which I hadn't done with Grim Reaper. So it was a bit of a stepping stone for me to get myself out there in Europe and England. And that worked, and it's still, I think, the best-selling album that Onslaught have ever done.
Mm-hmm. It's a great album.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
And I like your work with Lion's Heart. I think that's a phenomenal album. And when you go from your Grim Reaper to that, you just get that bluesy quality to your voice, very much like what you had mentioned, David Coverdale. I can easily see how you were trying to imitate him, but you were certainly channeling that energy in that album. That's a fantastic album.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, we did four albums, and I thoroughly enjoyed every single one of them. The first one was probably the best one, with the Hours Twins. They kind of got what I was after, and although they were scared to play outside their bedroom, it was a great album, like you say, and absolutely brilliant album.
Yeah, it's a whole different sound. It's like
Yeah.
you've played in three radically different
Yeah.
bands that I'm aware of. Between Grim Reaper, which is the kind of the new wave of British heavy metal. You got the tech thrash with Onslaught. You got this bluesy melodic rock with Lion's Heart. So I mean, that's quite a spread musically.
It is. I've actually been thinking of touring that. To take in the songs I really love from each band, and then taking that off tour. And I think that would be a really cool thing to do.
Yeah.
That would be
absolutely
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because because like I said, the Hours Twins wouldn't play anywhere outside their bedroom, and they, people should hear them live. I mean, Portrait, what a song that is! An absolutely fantastic song. Can't believe, well, we did a video for that, but the Hours Twins weren't in it because we shot it in Japan, and that album I was out with the A&R guy from in Japan, and he said, Steve, if you do 15,000 copies of this album in its entirety, it's considered a success. I said, oh, great. Yeah, I'd really like to do that. I'd like to be a success in Japan. He said, but we did that in the first 2 hours this morning. I was like,
Holy crap.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
it ended up going to #1 in the Japanese charts, which is totally unheard of for a non-Japanese band. And it went from me being able to walk the streets of Tokyo to not being able to walk the streets of Tokyo. It was kind of a strange time, that was, but yeah, it was great, and it deserved it. It was a stunning album, so at least it got appreciated somewhere.
Well, that's awesome. There's a lot of stories here, which is not. I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. Ask you some questions about touring, life on the road.
Sure.
These are all the kinds of things that we like to hear about.
Of course.
So when you're playing, do you prefer smaller, intimate venues or larger arenas? From a fan's point of view, being close to a band is fantastic. But what's it like from your or a band's point of view?
I don't mind any of them, really. I did the Texas Jam, or we did the Texas Jam back in 1987, and that was just beyond anything I could think of. It was 83,000 people, Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and it was just like, oh my God. But I do prefer, maybe 1,000, 2,000 strong, but venues, but equally the same 150. As long as the fans are enjoying it, I don't care where I play. And I really don't. But yeah, I like that.
That's quite a range. I think Vic, you've played in front of 73,000 for, right? Was that about right?
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah.
Only a few thousand off.
Okay. Yeah. About 72 and a half, right?
75. But
okay, so you'd mentioned the Texas festival in Dallas. So what festivals do you most enjoy playing?
Actually, I don't mind any festival. They're all really good. They it's a little bit more difficult for me to come to the States to do festivals because of all the red tape I have to go through.
And we just don't have any good festivals. I mean, that's just it.
No.
There's just shit for festivals. Or I mean, there's lots. There's smaller
guys,
band
you're kind of wrong on that. I will shut this down right now. There are great festivals in the States. What sucks is getting people from other countries here, it's very difficult. I mean, there's always some kind of setback. There's always some kind of work visa hold up. That's what's difficult for us stateside. We have a lot of great festivals. There's one going on in Chicago like next weekend with loads of great bands.
And there was Hell's Heroes last
well,
week.
Steve, you did. I think that you played one of the Legions of Metal, didn't you? Didn't Steve?
Yes.
Didn't your Grim Reaper? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great festival. That's a fantastic festival. We have a lot of good festivals. They don't get a lot of good coverage. That's the unfortunate thing.
I think a lot of it, what you going along with what you're saying though, Vic, is the fact that it's so underground that you're just hearing of the, oh gosh, it's just this festival and who's on again, Five Finger Death Punch and this one, and you're not hearing
Right,
of
the big
all
festivals,
underground stuff.
right.
And plus, like you said,
And-
you can't get people from the great bands like Steve's himself over here to the States, where the fans are actually
It's
we're
just
hungry for a lot of us.
difficult. It's difficult. We can do it, but it's much harder than the European festival circuit. That's much more convenient. Stateside, it is harder. But we have a lot of good fests here. We really do. It's just difficult sometimes to get people in.
Yeah, it's the thing with the States is, before I even begin to say, okay, I can say, yes, I'd really want to do your festival, but the first cost is a visa for us to come over.
Right.
There. Yearly visa, and it's £3,500. So 4,000 just to say that we can play in the States. And then there's the flights and all the rest of it. And not many festivals want to pay out that sort of money, and
Right.
And I get that. Now with Europe, it's different because the flights are dirt cheap. You can get across to Germany for about £50, and so
Nice.
that's not a problem. We have now have to prepare export licenses for our gear now because we're not part of the European Union. But that's okay to deal with. That's not really a major issue. But the Europeans have got it down smack, man. We've played in Germany, Belgium, Holland, to name a few, and they are always really well organised. Apart from Greece, now they couldn't organise a piss up at a brewery, but we're due on at 12 o'clock, and it's now 2 o'clock and we're still not on. What the fuck? But anyway.
Right. So that makes so when you do the European fest, do you do there's usually multiple, it's a circuit, right? There's multiple shows. Because that's where we kind of flounder here, is that our fests aren't organized in a manner where you're able to almost tour from fest to fest. That's the difference, it seems like, with the European circuit. It is much easier to the logistics are easier.
Because literally, if we're talking about France, Belgium, Holland, it's an easy drive for us. We can do problem. And then, Germany, depending on where it is, you have to fly in. But they've really got it down, man. They really got it down. And I love playing the festivals out there because it's so well organised. The bands have got a time limit and they stick to it. Most of the venues have a clock on stage, so you cannot not see it. And we're doing a couple this year. One of them is the Keep It True Festival. Although
that's a good one.
Yeah, I think I've played there 3 times. We're doing it again this time, but it's on the Friday night, so it's before the 2 main events. And that festival has gone from a sports hall, which holds about 4,500, to now it's called the Post Hall, and I think that's about 6,000 or 7,000 in Würzburg. And Ollie, the guy that owns Keep It True, he's a great guy, and he's got a great team, because there's no way you could do that on your own.
Yeah.
It's full well when you go there, you're going to get there. They're going to take you to the hotel for a couple of hours and then drive you to the venue. You're going to get all your passes and all that sort of stuff, and you go into your dressing room and it's full of food and drink, and it's great. They're just down there. They do, and it's the same for the youth.
I've heard a lot of good things about Keep It True. A lot of friends have played that festival, and there's not one person has said anything bad about it.
I dare you to do that, because I've done it 3 times now, and I've never ever had a complaint. Everything that you put on
That's
your right.
good.
No, it's great, and then people want to play it all the time. But Ollie's got this. He has a rota of he'll book you, but then he won't book you for 10 years. And I've managed to dodge that one several times. I've done 3 shows. And then Wacken, that's another one that I want to do again. That was, that's a stunning show. If ever you get here and you want to do a festival, go over to Europe. That's the one to go to.
It's huge. Yeah.
Huge.
When you play these festivals, are you able to enjoy them as a fan as well? Have the time to relax and see other bands, or do you feel time to crunch and you just gotta get in?
No, we go out into the audience and watch other bands and stuff, and we've always done that. Yes, I get mobbed sometimes for photographs and pictures, but again, that's what I do. I do that.
Right.
Yeah.
When I go out in the audience, I'm expecting it.
Sure. Talking about, you had mentioned all the stuff that they have for you, and we like to know things like what's your favorite food to eat on the road?
Anything. Whilst you're on the road.
Okay. Excellent.
It's mainly fucking Taco Bell or McDonald's, you're just grabbing stuff as you go. It was funny. I did a tour with the Three Tremors, and I don't know if you know who the Three Tremors.
Yeah, Tim Owens is from our state, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Sean Peck and we went to Europe. And we ended up doing every fucking McDonald's there was on the way. It was the staple food.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah.
Do they have any odd, are they different? Do they have different menu items than they would have stateside? Because
I would think they would have to.
Yeah, stateside.
Not suited for American tastes over there,
Right.
You get some stuff that is in this country is terribly British, but it's only a small part of the menu. I'd say 99% of the menu is exactly the same the whole world. Because I think that's what it is. It's the part of the franchise, so you have to do this.
Well, you've been to one raunchy Ronnie's, you've been to them all, right? So
I've never died from it, so it's got to be okay.
Steve, how do you take care of your voice when you're on the road?
I don't.
Okay.
I've never had any lessons. I never warm up or anything like that, and my voice it doesn't seem to have gone away, and I think that could be part of the fact that in the 90s I had nodes. I got nodes in my vocal cords, and had to have them operated on. And ever since then, it's got stronger and stronger and stronger. Because when I was in my 20s, I'd do 4 gigs and I'd have to have a day off to rest my voice. And but now I think my record is nine shows on the trot. So yeah, it's just got stronger and stronger, and I can't tell you for why. I would love to be able to teach people to sing, because I think I'd earn more money doing that than I would do the touring and doing albums.
Right.
But I can't, because I don't know how to tell people how you reach a top note, or how you do this, how you do that. But I've been thinking about writing a book, but I also want to do instructional videos, and basically I want to do it on not so much how I sing and all that. I want to do it on, you want a band? Okay, fine. But you need a good lawyer, you need this, you need that, and do the instructional video, that kind of thing. How to record, how to play live, and all that sort of thing. So I'm thinking about doing that.
That'd be cool. That'd be really
yeah.
helpful for a lot of bands, I mean, that's
Yeah.
just hearing all the inside stories. I know that's what Wildcard loves. We were talking with someone a few weeks ago, and he was wanting to get all the inside information about tone and recording and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, that's all information that that's valuable information.
Yeah, it is, and I
Yeah.
I've gained a lot of knowledge over the years for doing that. Even down to eating chips before you record. It scrapes all the crap off the back of your throat, and that.
And it greases your throat up. I've heard that
And it
before too.
greases
Like the
throat.
grease, like lays, like real.
Oh, wow, interesting.
There we go.
Stuff like
I'll have
that.
to try that next time I try to sing.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
No, it's not going to help you, dude.
No, man.
There's
I can't hit the
no
notes like
chip
I used
helping you,
to.
Montag.
Yeah. The
You could
couple albums
sing?
I was, I know, right?
Yeah.
Were you asking
You
me,
can
or were
just
you
eat the
asking
chips.
Wildcard?
You don't need an excuse to eat chips, man.
Yeah, we've heard Wildcard's albums.
I'll just use it to move this hate hole some more. So
That's
that's
right.
sometimes referred to
Mhm.
the hate hole.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve, what is one of the most outrageous touring stories you can share? I mean, we like hearing like the craziest stories. You're bound to have a bunch of stories up your sleeve of like the wildest stuff that happens. So can you share something with us?
Yeah. What do you want to know?
Well,
All
Let's
of
start
it.
with in the 80s, groupies. They were so much better than they are these days, to be fair. I can't remember where it was, but we were doing the Hell on Wheels tour with Armored Saint and Halloween, and we were playing, and there was this girl in the front of the stage, and she wanted it, and I asked one of the crew to go and get a banana out of from backstage, and she started sucking this banana, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to get off stage to have this. I looked for her after I got off, and she wasn't about. So I get back on the fucking tour bus, and there she is in between all the beds. Somebody up the back end of her with a Corona bottle, and somebody with his dick in her mouth.
at least they didn't use a good beer.
It was, yeah, exactly, yeah. But it was debauchery, really. The whole time. The whole time, it was just. There are loads of things that happened to us, and I mean, I remember I was telling my guitarist Ian a story about Nick and I. It was the first night in New York on the last tour, and it was one of our manager's birthdays. So we went out and got drunk and everything, Nick and I ended up with two women back at the hotel, and I decided I was going to have this woman from behind, and so I did start, and then I looked across at Nick, and he's doing exactly the same thing, and we're like, yeah. And I told that to my guitarist Ian, and he was like, that is just so true. He said, because Nick told me exactly the same story. Word for word.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. It's great.
I ever wish to have met. But in the morning, oh my God, she wasn't that good looking. The beard,
Oh,
You take the beer goggles off, and that's like,
Yeah.
oh, holy Lord, what did I put myself into?
yeah. But then
Here's
I
$10.
thought, well,
Get yourself a cab.
then I thought, well, any hole's a goal, so
Oh, that might be the name of the show. Any hole is gold. That might, that's fantastic. You got to put that on pics or your, like
Yeah.
somewhere you do the next
Oh,
album
that's- yeah,
or
that's-
tour merchandise or your wristbands. That's
Yeah.
got to be out there, Steve.
yeah, I can do that.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, those are great. Okay, what are some of the quirky requests in your writer? Like, do you have for special food or drinks, clothing, flowers like Mariah Carey? What's in your writer?
Well, it used to be, I always insisted on a bottle of Jack Daniels, but I don't really drink much these days, so I've knocked that off. But mystery meat, and all that sort of shit. And I don't really mind what we have, to be perfectly honest with you. I should do, though, because I'm diabetic and it's like, I should eat the right stuff. But it's a tour, you're touring and it's whatever.
Yeah, because you're burning
Oh,
off a lot of that glucose when you're on stage. So I'm diabetic too. So yeah, I understand that diabetic lifestyle is kind of hard to try to eat successfully around all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, well, especially on tour.
Yeah.
In Lion's Heart, my keyboard player was a vegetarian. Try that one when you're on tour. No, if he hadn't have eaten meat, he wouldn't have eaten. So
right.
yeah, it's difficult. But yeah, I don't really mind too much, obviously. But 9 times out of 10, the venues will do a buyout, and so they haven't got to prepare your food; they just give you money. So then we can go and eat well, So,
Nice.
but yeah, and you guys have the luxury of having restaurants open, sort of 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So and that's quite good. But the Fear No Evil tour, or was it? No, it might have been the See You in Hell tour. Actually, we ate mostly at Denny's, and we started putting that around that this Grim Reaper eats at Denny's type thing. And Denny's sent us a load of free vouchers to go and eat at Denny's, so that was rather cool. And I still do that now,
Yeah.
But let's go for a Denny's,
Yeah, man,
Or-
you can't beat their
Yep.
big breakfast, man.
Used
Yeah.
to do that myself. Yeah. You get done playing at 11, 12 at night. That's the only place that's open, and
Yeah.
you get whatever
Yeah.
you want there. Breakfast, dinner.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, they
Excellent.
do. Or we try and eat at a Ma and Pa's place, because the food's pretty good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And the last question about touring, what is your most Spinal Tap like moment that you've had on tour?
It was with Onslaught, actually, and there is a venue in Bristol called the Hippodrome, and I think it's about 4,000 seater, and I found out that there was a washing machine there, so I thought, perfect, I'll go do all my washing. So I did the washing, and then took me half an hour to find myself, to get back to the fucking dressing room, because it was like a maze. It was like Hello Cleveland,
Yes.
I mean, not too, and nothing that I can instantly remember as that's the only one I can remember really that I've had as a Spinal Tap moment.
That's fantastic. Okay, I'd like to ask you some hypothetical situations here.
Yeah.
Okay, an alien lands, shows up, and asks you to represent metal in 3 songs. What would those songs be and why?
The Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, because of Dio. White Snake would be Slide It In, because that's always, and Coverdale is full of sexual innuendos. And who else? Possibly Judas Priest. Another Thing Coming.
Nice.
Can't tell you why those are the ones that instantly come to mind.
Mhm.
And
Great
probably
choices.
the most metal that I can think of. But yeah, but there's so many more, isn't there? There's
Oh
so,
yeah, no, that's good, man. Those are great. Those are great choices. If you could go back in time to see one classical composer conduct a piece of music, who would that composer be?
Paganini, because that's close to metal as you're going to get it.
Yeah, and there's all the stories
Yeah.
of Paganini and the deal with the devil and people seeing demons come out of his violin, things like that. I've seen drawings where people were saying, "Here's these spirits coming out." Like,
Yeah.
that's fantastic public, press.
Yeah,
Can't-
must have been good drugs.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, you're going to create a one-day festival. All right.
Yep.
What 5 bands do you want to play, and who's the headliner?
Oh, cool. I would have Dio as the headliner, and one of the reasons being is that I got into Dio very late, and I think I missed out there, so I would certainly have him as a headliner. Iron Maiden is another one. They got so much energy, it's unreal. Who else? Elton John. I know it's a bit of a mix, but I'm trying to think of exciting bands. I think one of them would have been Van Halen, because they were so energetic on stage.
Even though David Lee Roth's a dick, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'll forgive him for that. But
Okay. He is a great front man.
he is truly, and to have the world's best guitarist at your side, and yeah, that would be a treat to see. One last one. Thin Lizzy.
Oh,
I'd
nice.
Yeah,
That would be a hell of a show, man.
I'd love.
Mhm.
If I really would have done, but I only saw videos of them. But yeah, great band.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh yeah. Excellent. Okay, we're going to change gears a little bit. We are heavy metal horror. So I want to ask you, I know Grim Reaper's got all the imagery. Are you a horror fan?
Yes, but I'm not. I find them a bit predictable, but there are some that I really like. I'm trying to think. I watched one with the wife the other night, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was. Yeah, I like them, but they've got to. For me, they've got to be really constructive. They've got to. It's not like, oh, this woman gets killed or this bloke gets killed. It's got to be constructive.
Yeah, not the slasher stuff. That's kind of, it gets redundant.
I like the Stephen King stuff.
Mhm.
That's because he's constructive with his killings.
Yeah. There's actually story and plot and character development around him. He tends to peter off at the end, but until then, he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And growing up as a kid, what was your favorite Halloween candy?
Well, we didn't have. It's only been in the recent 5 years that we celebrate Halloween.
Well, really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we-
interesting.
okay.
Never a holiday for us at all. And
All those poor kids not going around getting free garbage bags full of candy. That's
All
too bad.
Those poor kids not ruining their teeth. Oh,
That's
man.
right, man. The dentists are all really happy because the dentist got together and said, "Hey, let's get Halloween, man. More fillings."
probably just started getting people knock on the door, your kids knock on the door. But I mean, even that's different now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, parents have to go out because it's just not safe for young
No,
children.
sadly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we're beginning to celebrate it here. You know, like our Walmart is called Asda, and they have massive displays of all the Halloween stuff that you want, you know, and a lot of shops now are doing it as well. So it's becoming a thing here. It's actually like you have proms. We didn't up till again about 5 years ago, but now
wow.
yeah, they're having proms and stuff now.
Huh.
So
Well, some of our culture is rubbing off. I'm sorry about that. So,
no, it's
but
okay. No, because
of all the things to come across the pond your way, proms and Halloween. At least Halloween's good. But
Yeah.
there you go.
Proms and
all we gave,
Halloween.
yeah, and all we gave you, fuck, the British are coming.
That's right. That's right. Okay. I'm going to ask you some one-off questions. These can be about anything. So, what would you tell your childhood self about being a professional musician?
Trust your instincts. You know, I wish in the first place we'd have had our contracts read by a professional lawyer. So
Mhm.
that number one, because that got us into a lot of trouble. So yeah, listen to my instincts, and I do that now.
Good. All right. Who's your favorite cartoon character?
I nearly said Mickey Mouse then, but that's not it. The Roadrunner.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. What one song do you wish you'd written and recorded instead of the group or artist who did?
Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Elton John.
Nice. Yeah.
Fucking
Great song. Great song.
Yeah.
Okay. Which non-music celebrity would you most like to have a drink with?
Oh, Jack Black.
Okay. Nice.
I found out a couple of years ago he's actually a Grim Reaper fan.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they're on tour. Yeah, they're on tour with the
Tenacious D.
Tenacious D, right?
Yeah. If he's playing anywhere near locally to me, I think I'm gonna go there and insist he sees me.
Oh, yes, he should. Oh, that's
No,
awesome.
dude, they'll cover See You in Hell, man. They would totally do it too. That would be phenomenal.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would.
Yeah, good.
That's wonderful. What one creative endeavor are you most proud of?
I build and fly radio controlled model airplanes, and I am building a quarter scale Spitfire, and it's a big baby. It's really big, and everything I do on this model becomes something I've not done before in building it, and that's creative. I think I'm a bit of an engineer in some way, because I like making things work for me, and because losing my leg, I have to adapt every day to something new. And just recently I've got this little fold up electric buggy which I take on tour with me, and it's a pain in the ass sometimes that the seat restricted me, so I took the seat off and I've put a revolving seat on it, and I've engineered it quite well, I've got to say. Any engineer would be proud of it, to be perfectly honest with you, and it's made my life a whole lot better. And I was out flying my models today, and I can sit on my seat and fly like I would do if I was standing up on two legs. So that's
Wonderful.
yeah, it's little achievements like that. My dad has a saying: "I love it when a bodge comes together."
Nice. That's excellent. That Spitfire, I'm just trying to imagine that thing it's got to be colossal.
It's 112 inches
Holy
or
crap.
0.84 meters.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
do you ever take video of the planes flying, or do you have any videos of those?
I do sometimes. I haven't done for a while now, but I flew 2 brand new airplanes today, and I got to get somebody to video it for me. And I've got some fans in Brazil that want to see it, so I've got to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't do the Spitfire because it's a big bird, and that really is a big bird.
Yeah, you
And
could find a tiny person and put him in the
Yeah, I
cockpit,
have.
fly him around. You know,
I bought this.
free rides for tiny people. You know,
Free rides for Ronnie James Dios.
There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But-
Oh,
I've got a quarter scale pilot for it, which I bought in the States.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah, and he's got you connect him up to the rudder control. So when you input rudder, his head turns as well. So
oh, nice.
Nice.
I
You got to
hope-
have his hands up like that. One of his hands when he's flying. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back and forth.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Paint his face to look like Chucky, you know?
Yeah.
This kind of maybe almost answers that question. Last question in this group was like, what's the one thing that almost no one knows about you? That I didn't know that you flew model planes, so that's really
That's
cool.
really cool.
Well, yeah. It's not something that I really advertise, to be fair, but I think I will in future because fans are quite interested in what I get up to. So I might do that and take videos of me when I go flying up to the airfield with the guys, and
Yeah.
The other thing most people don't know about is the Elton John thing. So that's something else. And what else is there? Nothing really. Oh, I've got 1 and a bit legs.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's all very good. Yeah, I love that you love Elton John, and we all like all kinds of things. We don't have to stack our likes in one direction only. I mean, there's a whole world of things to get interested in. So why not try to take in as much as we can,
Yeah, absolutely. I think from a songwriter's point of view, I think if you just stick with your own genre, it will get very boring very quickly.
Yeah, stale.
Yeah, and in fact, a drummer that I used, he said, "I can tell you're into Elton John the way you sing," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I've never heard that before, but yeah, that's okay. I'll take that." But and again, like the writing, you've got to have an open mind when you write, and I think if you are listening to one genre, you're closed-minded, and you need to take it all in, because there is a world full of music out there, and it's a wonderful thing.
Wonderful. Yeah, so very true. We've got a couple games that we'd like to play with you. This first game is called Blast Beats. And I'm just going to ask you a series of questions, just real short, multiple choice, answer, or just give an answer as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Hot dog or hamburger?
Hot dog.
Favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Paperback or Kindle?
Paperback.
Favorite streaming service?
Ooh. I'm sorry, I can't answer that one. Nico, let's say that.
All right. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, a chocolate.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Marvel or DC?
Ooh, Marvel.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, that's Star Wars.
Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster?
Loch Ness Monster.
How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium.
Your favorite sport?
Cricket.
Your favorite movie snack?
Ooh, popcorn.
Your favorite subject in school?
Aeronautics.
Your least favorite subject in school?
Ooh, mathematics.
Favorite board game?
I'm going to say Monopoly.
Excellent. Spielberg or Tarantino?
Ooh, Tarantino.
Your favorite Christmas gift?
Model helicopter.
Nice. Your celebrity crush?
Oh, Nancy Jewell from Momo Band. I don't know. I don't
Right.
know. Yeah.
Best concert you've ever attended?
The very first one, I saw John Miles. I don't know, what's the famous song? Music. Music is my first love. Yeah.
Excellent. And last one, your favorite line from or scene from This Is Spinal Tap?
Lick my love pump.
Yes, that's one of mine
Yes.
too.
Oh,
This one's
yeah.
called "Lick My Love Pump."
It's a trilogy, rather, really, in D minor, the saddest of all keys. Yes, wonderful. Okay, we got another game. This is called the hot seat,
Yeah.
where I'm going to name a band, and you tell me your favorite album by that band.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, yeah, this tends to make people squirm, so that's why we call it the hot seat. Yeah, okay, Black Sabbath,
Ooh, Black Sabbath.
Judas Priest,
Sad Wings of Destiny.
the Beatles,
The White Album.
Halloween,
Keeper of the Keys Part 1.
Rush,
Oh, I don't know. I don't really follow Rush, but yeah. So sorry.
nope, no,
Don't-
that's fine. That's okay. Opeth.
I don't know that either.
All right, they're a Swedish melodic death metal band, black metal, very melodic, but then they also do jazz and classical, both death and clean vocals.
You're okay for not knowing them. It's fine. Only Montag he's over the
I'm a
moon about
huge fan
them.
of Opeth. Yes,
I am a
He's
no
over
fan
the-
of Opeth, so I
you
feel
suck.
for you.
That's why, Vic. Come on, man. Yeah, we'll talk after the show. I'll give you a list if you want to check them out. Okay,
Yeah, talk to the two savants. Don't talk to that one about.
that's right.
bands.
Yeah. We'll steer you
Don't know what he's
clear of the
talking about.
garbage.
Forget about it. Yeah.
King Diamond,
Oh, Abigail.
Iron Maiden,
Oh, Number of the Beast.
Testament.
No, I don't know.
Okay, Megadeth.
No, I don't know any of their albums either. Sorry.
All right. Slayer. Do you know Slayer?
I do know Slayer, but I couldn't give you an album title either.
Okay, two more to go. Kiss.
Oh, no, I don't know.
All right. Well, this last one should be easy for you.
Okay.
Grim Reaper.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I would say Rocket to Hell, because I think how Grim Reaper should have sounded from day one. So,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Excellent.
yeah.
I was gonna actually, I'll piggyback on that, Steve, because that was one of my questions. It seemed like from See You to Hell, the debut, Fear No Evil, but this was the perfect culmination. Rocky to Hell was just perfect from beginning to end. The sound was better. It was tighter. The band was on fire.
Yeah.
It just seemed like, so I kind of agree with you there that that's my favorite of your guys'
But
albums
we
as well.
were we were produced. You know, Max Norman did a phenomenal job.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
He basically tore us new arseholes. You know, he stripped the songs down. He accused me of not being able to pitch, and he was so right. And he gave Nick a hard time as well. You know, Nick would come to me, I can't fucking deal with this. And I said, look, man, you've got the opportunity of a lifetime here. You know,
Yeah.
you've got one of the top producers in the world.
Mhm.
Go with it. And then 10 minutes later, I'd be saying the same thing to Nick. You know, this bloke's really fucking pissing me off. You know, but he was right. You know, the guy was right. And I got home after doing that album. And I sat at a piano for 6 weeks pitching, and it's down to him now that I can do that without too much problem at all. And I'm still in touch with Max. He's going to be doing a course for engineering, and I'm going to go on it.
Oh, nice.
Part of it is in the States, and then part of it will be in the UK. And in the UK, I'll supply him the band. And he said, "Are you sure you want to work with me again after the hard time I gave you?" Because I got taught something, and
He made you better. That was it. I
Made
mean,
better,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's his job.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and that's what I said to him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, man, yeah, great." So yeah, good, one of the good guys. I like Max a lot.
Nice.
What's going on with, if you can tell us, Steve, any plans for another Steve Grimmett's Grim Reaper album coming up? You've
Yep.
been writing
Yeah.
some more, or what's going on in the works in your camp right now?
Yeah, we're writing a new album. It will be with different musicians this time. It will be with the guys that I toured with, the Three Tremors. So it's guitarist, bass player, and drummer. We are about 6 songs in, I think. And basically, it's the same way. I get backing tracks. I come up with vocals. Casey then takes the vocal ideas and writes the proper song. I get it back and finish it off, and then the bass player mixes the song and he sends it back to me and I master it. So we got 6 songs done so far, and I think we've got about another 7 or 8 song ideas. I've got one for the title track, which we have got nothing for apart from my idea. So I'm tempted to sing it and send it to Casey to see if he can come up with something for it. But that's, the process is the same, really.
Can you sing it for us?
No,
Okay.
I'm not. No, I don't. That was a bit arsehole. But
No, it's okay. No,
Not at all.
no, it was just, I just threw it
Not
out
at
there
all.
on impromptu.
We're
Not at
assholes
all.
ourselves, so don't worry
No,
about
no,
it.
it's okay. No, we understand. I mean, you got things in
You're
work,
fine.
so
yeah,
no, that's fine. It's okay.
not- it's not
We'll
that-
just have to have you come back when the album comes out,
Yeah, we'd love to have you back.
and then we get to have the whole band on.
Yeah, I basically don't do that. It's like, people ask me, what songs are you playing tonight? Are you going to be playing this? Are you going to be playing that? Look, the part of it is the surprise.
Yes.
That's part of the show. So I
Yes.
don't give the information out at all. The reason that I don't do songs until we release is the fact that, again, that would ruin the surprise. So
Yeah.
I respect that. As someone who doesn't like surprises, I don't even like watching trailers for movies. I want to go in fresh.
yeah.
So,
yeah,
and I don't want to see a set list before I see a band.
No.
I mean, if you get close, sometimes you can see it. I don't want to
Yeah.
look at it. I don't want to know what's coming up. I want to be surprised. So I totally get that, and I respect that.
It's part of the show, and
Yeah.
and, it's I don't want to give anything away until you've got the album in your hand and you're reading the lyrics and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
when
one of
the
the
album
worst
comes
things.
out, we'll just invite you back on.
yeah, cool. Do that.
That's one of the worst things about the internet age, unfortunately, is that everything's leaked and everything's brought out there. And there goes this, back in the day when we were growing up, didn't have that. Buying albums, you were surprised. You're, oh, this album art's great, and then you just listen to it and you're even more mesmerized. And unfortunately, technology is kind of crapped on that.
Yeah, I
Surprise effect.
still believe in that. I still believe in. You don't know what I'm going to play tonight. You don't know. You don't know what my album's going to be like until you get it. All I can promise you is that it's really good. And that's another thing which is better these days, because back in the day you used to get a lot of money from the label. You used to go in and record your song, and then that was it. You couldn't do anything after it was finished. Now you can. I can strip my song apart after it's mixed and mastered, and then I think I should have done this there and I should have done that. Right, okay, I'm going to do that now. And you couldn't do that back in the day. So the whole process is loads better. And of course now, like you say, with social media, we've got much more control over getting the album out there.
And direct communication with your fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
totally direct. Yeah.
Do you have a lot of input as far as the album cover design and all the artwork that's going to come with it? T-shirt design. I mean, that's one thing I've never asked any artist that we've had on here, is like all those T-shirts, and then like when you go out on tour, you're going to have shirts and things like that. What is that process like for you?
I have to be inspired to come up with a T-shirt, because I don't particularly like doing an album sleeve, although they're out there. So that can take some time to be inspired to come up with an idea for that. And yeah, I have nobody influences me at all over artwork or anything like that. My label does do merchandise as well, and they borrow the idea off of me, but it's the same as, I've got stuff on the website that, although not at the moment because I've rebuilt the website, that will only be for the fans, and you can only order that from my website, and you can order anything from there. And then I've got to come up with an idea for a T-shirt for tour, because it's got to be different. And I'm a pretty good judge about how many to order for a tour and all that. So that's good as well. And we do sell a lot of merchandise.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I love about going to shows is finding a great concert shirt, because then that carries that memory with me all the time. And it has the date of the city that I was at when I saw that tour. That's just something I've always enjoyed. And I try to find the shirts with like the coolest artwork, and Grim Reaper lends itself, to this great artwork. So that's always exciting to see, what shirt designs are out there,
Yeah, I've got several guys, well, 3 guys doing an album sleeve for me now. I've given them the idea, and although no lyrics, one guy asked for lyrics, and I said, look, all I've got is the idea, and can you work off of that? So he's working on that now. So may the best guy win. But sadly, the guy that did See You in Hell and Rocket to Hell has since passed away. But I would have loved Gary to have done the album sleeves. But then we've done 2 new albums, At the Gates and Walking in the Shadows, and I used different artists for those, and I'm fairly pleased with them. So but there's people
Great albums too. Yeah,
there's people out there willing to work for peanuts, and I said to this guy that has really asked about the albums, the album title, how much do you want? And it's just like pittance. And back in the day, well, I think I paid about £800 for the Walking in the Shadows artwork, and now I think it's probably about $200 now. It's ridiculous, really, really.
Oh.
But then there are a lot of people out there that want to eat, So.
Right.
True.
Yeah. And it's a lot in now with so many ways of sending art, and digital art, it's a lot easier in some ways to create and make changes to where you don't have to like paint over something or redraw it. It's just much more efficient to do digital artwork.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. And it's good though. It's opened up a whole new world, really. And again, like I said, with social media, they can easily get in touch with me and say, I want to do artwork for you, blah, 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 blah. Or I want to give you a new tattoo. And I had that when I went to Brazil just. This girl got in touch with me. I want to tattoo you. Okay, yeah. Then she turned up at a show and she had a set up at the back of the venue, and she was tattooing. So I was like, yeah, come on, let's have a new one. So
Nice.
it was good. Yeah. But it's just stuff like that, because say you can easily get in touch with people these days.
Right. Yeah. No, precisely. I think it's what makes us have the ability to have this show. Otherwise, one of the things that we've often said is that if we were going to see you at a band, at a concert, and we got backstage or we got to meet you after the show, we would have a few minutes with you. We get an autograph, a picture, and that would be a moment. I mean, we get to spend, we've been spending like an hour and 20 minutes now with you, and that's one thing we love so much about this show is being able to spend quality time with someone. So, it's just amazing, and its technology allows this. So we're grateful.
It's funny. I'm doing this on my mobile phone to you guys.
Yeah.
That still, I still have trouble believing that, because obviously I'm old and it's new technology, but it's easy to use. Even my father, who's 86, I communicate with him on FaceTime, and we talk, because I haven't seen my mother and father for the best part of 3 years now because of COVID and all that. And it's still it's okay to travel now. It's
getting better. We're seeing another resurge in the States here, but hopefully it'll,
Well, we're living with it now.
Right. And the vaccines are helpful, and mask mandates, all those things go to help, and everyone's kind of learning how to take care of themselves as best as they can.
Yeah. I mean, even Brazil, which is one of the hot spots of the world, I've just got back from there, and I didn't get COVID, and I was expecting it.
Yeah. Well, we're glad for that.
Yeah.
Well, we got one more thing we want to ask as far as our questions go, and this is about fandom. We're all fans of other artists, and what is your favorite piece of memorabilia?
I've got quite a few, actually. I got stuff that fans have made for me, and one literally was on this last tour of Brazil. The guys made me up a 3D picture of the album sleeve, See You in Hell. That's really cool. And then again, this is from Brazil. I went to see the Christ, and the Christ the Redeemer, and I've got a little model of it, and that was a stunning thing to go and see. If there's a chance to go and see that, you should, because it's just awe-inspiring. And I can't remember. I actually stood on the equator. Remember what country it was now? Remember, but they've got this massive statue there, right smack on the equator, and I got that. So I tend to do that a lot now, where I didn't beforehand. I collect key rings, key fobs from wherever I go. I'll go to the airport, you can get one there. So I do that, and I got loads of those sort of things. And you guys are pretty good on stuff as well. You know, you stop at a truck stop, and
Yeah.
I've got.
Yeah.
Where is it? Ah, let me show you this. Where some of this stuff. I bought this in a truck stop in the States.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Oh yes. There's
And
the cover of your new album. Yes.
This thing I bought in the States, that's St. George and the Dragon type thing. And then
Cool.
yeah, I got loads of stuff like that, mugs and all that type of stuff.
Nice.
So I collect wherever I go. You know, if something
Yeah.
my eye. In fact, the George and the Dragon, I bought that on San Diego Beach. And yeah, so that and buying that sort of thing reminds me of that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. I must have about 60 or 70 key fobs, and yeah, because that was something that I only started doing a few years ago.
Mhm.
So, but yeah.
Very cool.
Yes, I've got lots of shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's what's great is the memories that are attached to that shit. You know, I mean, that's why we have it,
Yeah.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Would it be too much to ask for you to do a bumper for us? This is Steve Grimmett of Grim Reaper. You're watching and listening to heavy metal horror or something like that, or see you in hell, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Hi, this is Steve Grimmett from Steve Grimmett's Grim Reaper. And you're listening to heavy metal horror. See you in hell.
Perfect. Beautiful.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. That's great.
Oh,
Wonderful.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
For spending your time with us this afternoon or this evening for you. This has been a true honor for us and just a joy. And thank you.
Thank you, guys. Anytime. Maybe next time we'll do an album release show. Yeah.
Yes, please. We would love to have you back on.
Please.
And
Cool.
I will send you some, you know, if you want, we can talk after the show or sometime. I think I sent you a friend request. And sometime we've got our own shit. This is some heavy metal horror stickers. I'd be happy to send you some stickers if you'd like.
Okay.
We'll talk
Well,
after the show's over and I'll send you some stuff. So
Cool. Sounds good to me.
yeah, you could just say, look what the shit I got from those blokes in
Yeah.
the States, you know? All right, we're going to do our commercial. We're going to get out of here.
Okay, cool.
All right, you can find Heavy Metal Horror on unsaneradio.com. Listen to full episodes or download to your device. You can find us on Facebook, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. On Instagram, look for Montag Lewis, one word. Our YouTube page, which is if you're watching, that's where you're at. Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And now we're on Roku, Hotel Metal Jam. And if you know someone who would like our show, tell them about us. This has been Montag, Master of Illusion.
Chop top.
Wildcard.
And you've been watching and listening to, okay, bring up the horn, Steve.
Yeah.
Heavy metal horror.
This is Doug Helvering, and you have been listening to Heavy Metal Horror, the best podcast that you've never heard before.